Alright. It's Sunday night. And it's raining, and it's going to rain so much more tomorrow, which I do not want to go out in, but events conspire against me, and so I must. Well, maybe I'll do the usual warm-up, do a short video. See how quickly I can get motherfucker. It wouldn't be me if I didn't forget stuff. I didn't bring the cameras in, which is well fucking stupid. Hey, Charlie, how are you? God damn it. Oh, yeah, I haven't decanted that. I be fuffing around on the stream because I need to put wine back into it. What fucking YouTube am I logged into on this? Okay, that makes no fucking sense. Let us switch accounts here. Now I've got to... remember the password. Okay. Okay, that makes sense now. Okie dokie doo. So, I was going to put Zombiadzi on while I went out and got some stuff. Is it worth it? I'm only going to be gone for a minute. And hello, Greg and Safa as well. Date night was good. It was actually a venue in Ripponlea called Ripponlea Food and Wine. And because we keep notes and score all the places we go, Ripponlea Food and Wine was the bottom of the table. And we're thinking, oh, maybe it's time to relegate them. And it's actually the second time in a row, I think, we were going to a place in our rotation that's geez, I did a lot of videos about it. You asked me to do the Is Trump a Rapist one. Damn. It's actually not surprising I did so many Trump videos. Oh yes, the blogging bot from the future 10 years ago said he wouldn't. But you're on the stupidest timeline, so he did. It's... God. Wowzers. Again, it makes sense that... actually, no, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense how many there are. Fuck's sake. What's wrong with me? Wow. Okay, so this is a 10-year-old, okay, a 5-minute, 10-year-old video that Strictly Sega is asking me to put on. Okay, so Safa, no, this place is not a bad restaurant. It's just less good than it was when we first started going there. They made a succession of changes, and each one made me like the place less. So they were on their final warning, and we didn't actually warn them. They don't know we think like this. But it was good. The food was good. The drinks were good. Staff are lovely. So they're still in the rotation. And hello, Kirsty, by the way. So you come in. All right. So by request, while I go and get some stuff, I'm going to play this video. By request from Home for the Elderly. Okay. Share. Full screen. Turn off this, and here we go.
G'day viewers, getting rapidly towards the business end of Vagina. Video every day in July if nothing arises. And look, YouTube tried to get in my way last night, made me a bit late with the old not uploading and not processing, but I posted a video, so I'm still considering myself on track. And today I want to talk about a subject that's been sort of staring me in the face the whole month. Very obvious. I'd almost been avoiding it because it was so obvious, but hey, why not do it now? Donald Trump, America, the fuck? How is he the leader of the Republicans in the presidential race? Now, you look, historically, the people who were the early front runners always flame out anyway, but the fact that he's even vaguely being considered, is this trolling? Is that what it is? Is this just trolling on a grand scale, both from Trump and the people who say they would vote for him? Like, sure, he may be clinically insane and incapable of saying anything sensible, but that's what I look for in a president. Or is it just, no, man, he's not taking any shit. He's just telling it like it is. It's like, oh, this is just such a disturbing insight into the psyche of some people. And he said and done such an array of shit, stupid things. It's very hard to sort of pin stuff, but I read today possibly a new low. It's hard to even say new low. Well, let's just say new somewhere in the same general vicinity of low of everything else he's ever said. And this is not actually him specifically, but his lawyer going after a website who was going to run a story about how Trump's ex-wife Ivana accused him of rape. And this is actually in her deposition for divorce that he assaulted her and she said he raped her. And there's a link to the story. It's fairly disturbing and violent. Trump denies it happened, but it's in the deposition for their divorce. And Ivana later moderated that it was awful and she felt violated, but she doesn't think that it met the legal definition of rape. Reading the story, it seems kind of black and white, but, you know, who knows why she chose to walk back a little bit from that, but she did. Possibly something to do with a divorce settlement that binds her to not saying anything he doesn't allow her to say, which is also weird and creepy, but not surprised. But his lawyer double hits it with saying insane, weird threats to this website about how he'll fucking destroy them if they say anything about Donald Trump and rape, despite the fact this is public record. There's a published book that recounts this, that Ivana used the phrase, he raped her, and the details of the incident are pretty goddamn awful. So he says all this crazy shit, but just purely on the are you a lawyer front, he said, let's be clear, you can't rape your spouse. Yeah, you can, both morally and legally in New York. It used to be the case that you couldn't be charged with rape for your spouse, but that hasn't been the case since the mid-80s, and the incident, I think, took place in the early 90s. So not only is it rape in marriage a legal thing now, it was back when this happened. And this is a lawyer saying this. I'm not saying it's a good lawyer saying this, but it is a lawyer saying this. This is not someone I would want as my advocate. You know who you should advocate for? MRAs, fucking gamergators, who just continually go, oh, you put my name in a block bot, you're infringing my civil rights. I will sue. Yes, this lawyer would probably take that fucking case and all your money and destroy it. You should take the case to Moon Court, because that's just as real as being blocked on Twitter, violating your civil rights, and just as real as a lawyer saying you can't rape your spouse. This is just, we're in the twilight zone. Someone help me. What is happening with Trump? Is this a prank? Is this an elaborate prank? Have you Americans all got together and gone, you know what? We could freak out the world because they haven't been thinking about Armageddon much. Let's make them think it's actually possible that someone as off the beam, as detached from reality as Donald Trump could be president and have his finger on the button. It'll be awesome. Let's do it. Joke's over, America. Smarten the fuck up.
The good old days. Were they? Who knows? I know. Isn't it great how everything just got so much worse? Made that video 10 years ago, and everything else got worse. Also, with Trump being a rapist, he was adjudicated so in a court in the US when he tried to sue the writer E. Jean Carroll for publicly stating he raped her. And it went to court, and the judge looked at the evidence and said, no, the evidence supports E. Jean Carroll. The defense of truth works in this case. And he's president. It's just like, now there's fucking, bombing Iran. It's just, everything's fucked, yo. Anyway, I did take that opportunity to set up for do a short cocktail video, which I'm going to do now. Oh, and I could debut the book video as well, because I did edit it today. Okay, let's get this happening. Let's get these. Oh god, this has got such a fiddly cap, this one. Fuck, this is like the worst stopper. These glass stoppers with a rubber seal are the fucking worst. Ugh. Like the product, but the stopper is the worst. Now, if I remember rightly, this is all equal parts. Let's have a quick look at the Atlantic Flyer. Yeah, okay, equal parts. Okay, so I'm going to put that on. Three-quarters of an ounce. Get the first one ready. Okie dokie artichoke. That's ready. Okay. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, push the wrong button. That's okay, plenty of smart people do that. Okay, I'm going to just do it in order so I don't get confused. Okay. Very red drink because of my... I'll do that. Look, I'm not lying. I chilled my glass. Most of the time when I say that, I'm lying because I forget to do it. This time I did it. Aren't you proud of me? Right. I just already realized I fucked up what I intended to do. That's okay. We'll go on. I'm not going to stress about this. That's pretty good. Although I've got my nose right over the bottles, maybe that's what I'm smelling. Okay. Is this here? Ooh, that's a wash line. It's a dark and stormy cocktail. Okay. This is done. Okay, bring this camera out. Yowza. Top heavy, motherfucker. Put the light over here. Okay. Get that ready. Well, this isn't ready. What's going on here? Well, I had that framing all over the place, didn't I? Wait, I don't have this on manual, do I? No, it's on auto. Good. I just worry sometimes I'm doing a special shot and I've done manual focus and I forget and I shoot something. I've only got a tiny viewfinder here and I don't realize that it's out of focus. But it's on auto, so that's good. Okay, so this ready? Yes, that's ready. Okay. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is called an Atlantic Flyer. It's an equal parts recipe that dates back about 100 years. And I'm never really sure with these old ones. In fact, I tend to mistrust the really old recipes. Just tastes have changed a lot. And I think modern cocktails have better balance. But I just thought, what for hey, let's give it a go. It's got brandy and 3 aromatized or fortified wines in it, which I thought was at least interesting sounding. To beef it up a bit, I've gone with a cask strength brandy that a local distiller makes and I'm quite fond of. But let's give it a taste to see how it all comes together. Ooh, that is not bad at all. Well, congratulations, early 20th century. This one's not bad. I'll show you how to make it. In a mixing glass, put 3/4 of an ounce or 22.5 mils of the brandy of your choice. Then 3/4 of an ounce or 22.5 mils of Lillet Blanc or Aquina Lillet. 3/4 of an ounce or 22.5 mils of sweet vermouth. And 3/4 of an ounce or 22.5 mils of a tawny port. Add ice to the shaker. Shake that for... Ooh. Add ice to the glass and stir for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink. And I'm straining that into a chilled Nick and Nora glass. And my chocolate bitters. The original recipe doesn't have bitters, but I saw a few people online recommending a couple of drops of chocolate bitters. So let's try it. About 4 drops. Oh, wow. That went a bit heavy at the end. That's okay. Well, I used Jeffrey Morgenthaler's finger to stir it. I used my fingers to stir this. Look, if you like chocolate, it does bring in a little chocolate note. I think just a few drops is fine. I might have put in a couple of drops too many. I think this really plays well with the port, actually. So it's, it's an after dinner sipper, this type of drink. So chocolate does go with it, I think. If you like that style of drink, I think you should try this. It's called the Atlantic Flyer. Cheers. All righty. Stop. Switching things off, then I'll sit down and chat. See how everyone's going. And in fact, I think I have to have another break, so maybe I'll put on the book video, the book movie. Okay, I did not put the lids on anything. That's a disaster waiting to happen. Do these ones first, because I just have this paranoia. This stupid glass stopper is going to give me trouble. No, we're okay. Good. Okay, turn this off. Strain a bit more in there. Putting it over. Ice in my big glass. Okie dokie. We're doing nerd challenges. Oh, got that. You're looking at old videos, the nerd thing. That was not even a challenge. Like, I was just making a joke video and said, I'm a bigger nerd than you, and went through all my things that made me a nerd. Everyone took it as a literal challenge, and I got all these responses from people who are far nerdier than me, as it turns out. And it turned into a whole thing. Actually, Safa, the venue was pretty full on date night. It's like a medium-sized venue. It's right next to Ripponlea train station. Like I said, it was pretty good. You had fish and chips. I had spaghetti with Napolitana sauce, one of my microwave thingies. And hello, Celtic, by the way. Safa, it's not Eugene. It's E, the letter E, Jean, Jean. And it was a civil case, which is why the adjudication was on the balance of evidence. And Trump instigated it, which was hilarious. Daniel, not a fan of war and conflict. Oh, I mean, you don't liberate people by bombing the fuck out of their country indiscriminately. And of course, because the regime is launching missiles fucking everywhere. So a lot of people who don't deserve to get killed are going to get killed by that. And it's going to destabilize the whole area. Like it's a criminal act. It's the fucking worst. It's like the layers of lies involved in launching this illegal strike on Iran. It's just ridiculous. The fact that the regime there sucks doesn't come into it. Trump sucks. And he's killing a bunch of fucking people who aren't part of the regime. So it's all bullshit. Yeah, someone wants a Peace Prize, definitely. Oh dear. Okay. Und so. Oh, it's raining at the moment, Safa. It's supposed to fucking piss down rain tomorrow. Severe weather warnings and all that sort of thing. What's the Bureau saying? They think it's going to rain all night and taper off in the afternoon tomorrow. And the heaviest bit just when I'm fucking going to work, if they're right in their predictions. Which, of course, they're not necessarily. Looking at the rain radar. Oh, is it going to load? Oh, yeah, okay. Holy shit. Look at this. Look, all let me get that to go in there. All bloody New South Wales, South Australia, Victoria covered. Ugh, so much rain. Dang. No, I can't hear F1 from work. You can't hear F1 in the city. There's too much other noise in the city. You can hear it from home. I'm going into the city tomorrow because I'm seeing my hand surgeon and hand therapist tomorrow. Otherwise, I would come up with an excuse to not go into the fucking office, quite honestly. Celtic. This is not one of the newest ones. It would have been, I think, well over a year ago I got this, but I think it was in the second last lot I got. Oh, I had a fun thing today. Went to Caulfield Markets, first Sunday of the month at Caulfield Racetrack, or on Caulfield Commons, as the park area is called. And I was walking through the stalls, and this guy walking like near me had a very similar sort of, like a really flamboyantly colored cocktail themed shirt, and he just bumped into someone he knew, and they go, hey, how are you going? And then I passed him, and she goes, oh, are you two together? And the guy looked and went, no, I don't remember. It's just so funny. This is the first person I've seen wearing these sorts of shirts that I wear, and I ended up standing right next to him as he met up with someone. It was the guy, actually, who was manning the Imbue Distillery stall, who make that brandy that I used. But he's never worn this type of shirt before. He's just got into it more recently. So, yeah, the cocktail's okay. I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's okay. So, Daniel, you try. You can hope. History tells us nothing good will come from this. Just horrible, horrible, horrible suffering. Bombing a country. And again, to be absolutely clear, neither the US nor Israel are bombing Iran to free the people of Iran. It's about control and control of oil and other resources in that part of the world. It's got more to do with see, Charlie, it's not just oil, it's gas as well, and it's just political influence in that part of the world. Yeah, and all it's going to do is cause suffering and death. Admittedly, the Islamic regime in Iran might be overthrown It's not going to be for anything good in return. Hello, Hannah. Coming while I'm being depressing. Try to be less depressing. Nice. Super baby updates are always valued, Hannah. So I like that. Why did I only want to pee when I was standing up? Now I'm sitting down. I don't want to pee. I mean, which is good. I'm probably going to, anyway, I'm going to play the book movie video. Oh, yes. The Venezuela one was fucking bizarre. So it's like, and which was also illegal under international law, but the US doesn't give a shit about international law because every single US president is a war criminal and in breach of international law. That's why they reject the International Criminal Court. It's a double thing. There is a legitimate thing of bad actors could subvert the International Criminal Court. And the second thing is every US president is legitimately a war criminal and breaches international law. So there you go. So, okay, Super Baby got a homemade toy by his granddad, which has the loudest horn available, and he loves honking the horn, does non-stop. He's gifted a xylophone and recorded by granddad, who likes to use a recorder to hit the xylophone. Okay, granddad is waging war. That's deliberate. Yeah. It's your father's revenge for sleeps nice with others. That's straight up. Like when my offspring were littlies, people knew I had littlies, and people I worked with or friends with who had no kids, and they would get invited to something that a friend of theirs who had kids had. And they're like, oh, they want me to come to the kid's birthday party. What do I get? Like, and they'd say a 3, 4, 5-year-old. And I went, okay, do you want the kid to be really happy and the parent to be super pissed off? And often they'd laugh and go, that sounds like fun. I said, something that makes noise. Electronic is fine, although if it's something percussive, something the kid hits to make noise, the kids fucking love it, and it will drive the parents nuts. And the best part is your sister-in-law works in childcare, so she's impervious to noise. It'll only get your brother because you're a loving family. Yeah. I mean, I actually had someone I work with saying like, oh yeah, it was like in the supermarket and had their sort of pre-primary school age kid with them, and the kid sort of points at something and says, oh, can I have that? Mum says no. And the kid throws themselves on the ground and starts thrashing around and screaming, I want to. And they'd never done that before. And I was like, what the fuck? And picks them up. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Where'd you get that? And the kid actually admitted, our granddad said to do that to you because you used to do it to him all the time. Suffer, it ended up being a lunch baguette because I went to the Caulfield Market first thing in the morning and got some pastries from a really yummy pastry seller, or a pastry seller who sells really yummy pastries, and she really likes my shirts. I love it. Hannah, you did that as kids and your mum left the full trolley and walked out. Nice. And Justin, yeah, Cuba probably is the next target, actually, for yet another criminal act. And he didn't stop until she saw the way home. Good Lord. Yeah. Safa, the market usually gets very busy. We went very early. We were there before 9. We normally get there after 10. We got there before 9. So there weren't that many people there. But by lunchtime, this market is real fucking busy. Eventful. Well, I went out on Saturday night and went to the market Sunday morning. Honestly, that's about as much as I can deal with when it comes down to it. And you live 30 minutes from the grocery store. And your mum didn't put up with you. Oh, God. Well, Celtic, yeah, I have the tradition. I get sourdough baguette on the weekends and cut it in half and have it for breakfast on Saturday and Sunday morning. Although, like I said, it ended up being lunch today. So, Daniel, around the whole world need to get behind renewable energy. People whose wealth is dependent on oil and gas are going to fight tooth and nail to do it. And yes, Obama, Biden, Clinton are all war criminals. They all bombed countries and killed civilians. Yeah, they all breached international law. Hannah, you went to an amazing cafe for breakfast. 7 a.m. is too early for breakfast after. Wow, you can see that if you didn't get to sleep till 4 a.m. and someone says, let's have breakfast at 7 a.m., I would find that disorienting and I'd probably be out of whack. Or not probably, I would be out of whack all of Sunday. Oh, neat. You're actually sharing breakfast pics. I freaking love it. Oh, wowzers. This is proper freaking cafe breakfast. What are we doing? Sharing screen from the Discord. Look at that. Poached eggies and was that ham or bacon? Anyway, it's good. That looks really good. I haven't had a full-on cafe breakfast for ages. I love doing the ones where it's just ridiculous huge. Like you're normally paying an arm and a leg for it, the thing. And no, I didn't have any nap on Saturday, Safa. I got a decent night's sleep. I think I got 8 hours sleep, so which means I got up late. We have rechargeable batteries that charge by the sun for free. Yeah, vested interests, man. Was that Eggs Benedict? It looked like might have been a cousin of Eggs Benedict's. A dog menu. Good Lord. Okay, Eggs Benny with bacon. Yeah, $20. Yes, but I'll do it. Like, I'll pay $20 for a cafe breakfast. It's like, just fucking give me a huge fucking thing. I'll do it. Looks a lordy. Just thinking about drinking. Write a little poem. As I say, will I make a drink? I think I do need to do a toilet break. Nice cafe breakfast lunch twice a week. Treat yourself. That's what I say. You gotta give yourself a good time from time to time, I say. So, yes. Sorry, now I am just kind of thinking about things over here. I'll mix myself a drink. Wasn't I wearing down any of these whiskeys to the point I might want to finish them? But just make a really expensive one. Ooh, an expensive fucking J Ward with expensive whiskey, strong whiskey and strong brandy. Man, I'm probably going to do it. Okay, for some reason, gravity, I stand up, I really want to pee. Less so when I'm sitting down. But, okay, let's do a debut of book movie. Honey, your dad's partners was 29. Oh, they had the big breakfast. Eggs, hash brown, toast, mushroom. Yeah, big breakfast. I know, like I just remade it the other night and I was like, this is fucking awesome. Oh, yes. I did not hear her. It's bullshit. Didn't hear her. Hi, March. Nice pun or wordplay, Dr. W. Anyway, look, I am going to play this video because I really do need a pee break. Yes, EOR, it is March, which is some kind of bullshit. Wait, where's this? Okay, that's a bit more like it. Okay. We want sound. So you got to tell me if this is working as well, because it gets fucking weird. Okay. Let's do this and this and this. And I'll play it. And you got to tell me if it's working.
When I'm compiling a list of my favorite cocktails to go in the book, it's going to be dominated by boozy stirred drinks. That is my default style of drink. But this one that's going in is a sour. When you look at the recipe, it's obviously a variation on a Tommy's margarita. The big variation is it's a split of tequila and mezcal, which got me really interested because I have been getting much more into mezcal cocktails in the last couple of years. This cocktail is called an Oaxaca Night, and it's named after the Mexican state of Oaxaca, where apparently around 80% of the mezcal that makes its way around the world originates. There are 10 states that legally can make a drink and sell it as mezcal. Technically, actually, this is all mezcal because all tequila is mezcal. Like bourbon is a whiskey that meets a particular set of rules, tequila is a mezcal that meets a particular set of rules. Even some people who like tequila are a bit iffy or can be a bit iffy about mezcal. Of course, mezcal is not one thing. Different makers will make really unique styles. There is as much variation in the flavors and profiles of mezcal as there are in whiskeys, but the thing that stands out is the smokiness. That comes from the preparation. They're both made from agave, but with tequila, the agave heart is steamed, and with mezcal, the agave heart is roasted, which brings in that smokiness. And speaking about the tasting notes, that's of course a subjective thing. It can be something you learn how to draw out the flavors. Let's be honest, it can be a little bit wanky. Not so much with tequila and mezcal, but wow, whiskey aficionados with what they go in. They pick up a whiskey and have a sniff, go, I'm getting brioche, orange peel, ooh, some nuttiness and honey, some oak, and someone who's not that into it goes, that smells and tastes like whiskey. So my very unsophisticated tasting notes for the spirits in this cocktail, the tequila, it's very easy drinking, even though it's relatively high proof. You get that classic agave flavor, and a surprising amount of sweetness. Reminds me of strawberry. It doesn't taste like strawberries, but the level of sweetness just makes me think of the type of sweetness there is in strawberries. The aroma from the mezcal is like a really nice smoked sweet barbecue sauce. The taste is actually lighter than the nose suggests. I find it's very smooth, and it leans more towards having some light citrus notes, and the smokiness is not coming through as strongly when you drink it. One more thing about the cocktail, it's recommended you do a regal shake. What that means is shaking the cocktail with some citrus peel in with the drink. Now that might sound silly, like what difference does that make? It does actually change the taste of the cocktail because as you shake, the ice pulverizes the peel, releasing the oils, which can change both the texture and the flavor of the cocktail. The default recipe said to use a swath of grapefruit peel. I don't actually like grapefruit, and I'm not buying a whole grapefruit for one bit of peel, so I'll be adding lime peel to this. That seemed fitting because there's lime juice in this cocktail. Well, that's all the background for the Oaxaca Night. Now I will show you how to make it. In a shaker, put 1 ounce or 30 mils of Blanco tequila, then 1 ounce or 30 mils of mezcal, then add 22.5 mils, 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, 22.5 mils, 3/4 of an ounce of honey syrup, then 3 dashes of Angostura bitters, and add the citrus peel you're going for the regal shake. Add ice to the shaker, shake that for 10 to 15 seconds to get chill and dilute the drink and get some of those citrus oils working through it as well. Then I'm straining that into a chilled Nick and Nora glass. I'm garnishing it with a dried lime wheel. You could, of course, use a fresh lime wedge as the garnish. I just happen to have the dehydrated lime wheels, so I thought I'd go with that. I love the color you get, like 3 dashes of bitters is more than you get in a lot of cocktails, and it's really lent color to it because it's colorless, the actual spirits in here, or close to colorless, slightly yellow in the mezcal, but it's got a really lovely hue. Let's see if it's as good as I remember it. It is genuinely as good as I remember. This was on my top 10 list in 2024. The difference between a Tommy's margarita and a classic one is the Tommy's doesn't have the orange liqueur that you get in a classic margarita. It comes from a restaurant that was called Tommy's, and they wanted to really highlight the agave. They thought the orange was a distraction. I like a classic marg. I like a Tommy's. And I really like this. The smokiness, and using a honey syrup rather than an agave syrup, it's a difference. Well, I was going to say a small difference. That is going to depend on your honey because, there's honey and there's honey. Use one you like because it'll have quite an influence on the taste. I think it works really well. Just change it up. If you're a margarita fan, this is a small variation that takes it in a whole new area. So the margarita template, like all the classic templates, really lend themselves to riffs and experimentation. This is one worth trying. It's called an Oaxaca Night. Hope you try it. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you come back and see me for some more cocktails right here. Until I do see you again, I'll say cheers.
All righty. Yeah, thank you, Fletcher, by the way. Hello. Orange is a bit citrusy, like Tommy's. Yeah, Tommy's Margarita is a good one. Honey syrup is just honey and water. If you put just honey in a cocktail, it'll clump up and be really difficult. So you have to dilute it at least a little bit with water for it to be useful. And Eoa, I appreciate your thoughts and input. So yes, when someone makes a suggestion or has a thought and I don't act on it, that doesn't mean I don't appreciate people putting the thought in, because I do. I really appreciate put any thought in. What I will say with the music is a two-pronged thing. One, I do that to essentially hide variability with the sound problems. Like you couldn't hear the cicada. Oh, I just realized, Dr. Abigail, you were saying there's a sound a bit tinny. What it could have been is before I put the music underneath, the cicadas were super noticeable. And when I put the music on, the cicadas were no longer noticeable. But your finely tuned ears may have been picking up cicada noise underneath it all. So anyway, so that's a big reason I do the music underneath it, is to minimize problems with ambient noise and to have a consistent sort of underneath ambient. Second, I've been doing it for more than 5 years on the YouTubes, and I have not had a single complaint about the music. So the video has been watched thousands of times, and I haven't garnered a single complaint about the music. So with the overwhelming majority of people, it's not a thing. There you go. You are a musician. Yeah, look, one of two things. Might have been your imagination, might have been your speaker, might have been the cicadas. Fletcher, the pollution in King's Cross kills them. Well, I got trees all around my house, and we get super friggin'. Oh, Dr. Abigail, I know you've complained. I meant on YouTube. I know you've mentioned before not particularly liking the music, but like I said, there's basically those two reasons. One is it really helps hide problems with ambient audio, and two, no one's ever complained about it on YouTube, despite thousands of views. But you did have cicadas in Potts Point, and you're over the train station now. Okay. But yes, I'm not just playing nice. I genuinely appreciate all thoughts, opinions, insights. Just because I don't use a suggestion doesn't mean I don't appreciate someone taking the time to give it. So hopefully they'll also sound when it comes through StreamYard. Oh yeah, they're definitely putting it through StreamYard is lowering the quality. Absolutely, definitely. I love that, Fletcher. That's a glass half full approach. The asbestos fumes from the train brakes kill all the insects. Okay. Interestingly, I used 2 high proof spirits in that version of J Ward. It's still good. It's not as good. Like when I made it with just a regular brandy and what was my favorite? Making it with the Starwood, not Nova. God damn it! Why is my brain forgetting the word? To hell with you, brain. It's as if you're clouded by alcohol. What's all that about? The thing that means reusing the barrels over and over. God damn it. Charlie knows which one I'm talking about. I could get up and walk over and look at the label. It's just back there. No, not the Pedro Jimenez one. I finished that. Okay, Solera. Sorry, I just remembered the word. There is a term, I think, in both winemaking and distilling called Solera, Solera. What that means is when you put whatever in a barrel to age it, and then you drain the barrel to bottle it. But if you're doing Solera style, you always leave some in the barrel, and then you pour the new stuff in, and it blends. So it's this, it's more a vibe than a real taste thing, but it's like, technically every bottle has, the ghost of the first ever bottle, because you're always leaving a little bit in the barrel. And I guess, look, it depends how much you leave in the barrel. So Fletcher, you know it from fermenting. Yeah. So I think it started in wine, but spirit distillers do it as well. But so yes, if you ever see the term Solera, if it's being used correctly, it means they leave a little of a batch in the barrel and then put new stuff in. And each time they don't fully drain the barrel, they leave a bit. So it's like, the spirit of the original cask is in every cask. The French and Portuguese are into it. Well, so are the Australians, apparently. So, because I see it a bit with Australian makers. Well, actually, as that dilutes a little bit on the ice, it tastes better. But I remember, because I will eventually do the J Ward as a video, and it'll be going in the book because it's a real fucking good recipe. And we workshopped it quite a bit on the stream to fine tune it. But I'll be using Solera. I think I might have used the Martell Blue Swift, but that's okay. Just a brandy. You like Rutherglen wines? I think Rutherglen actually do whiskies as well. That's Morris, yeah? You hate Hunter Valley wines. Yes, we have a couple wine growing regions here. The Yarra Valley, you get wine out on the Bellarine Peninsula, on the Mornington Peninsula, basically everywhere, really. And of course, fine South Australian wines, Western Australian wines, and it's an increasing number of the winemakers are moving into distilling. So Fletcher, you say West Victoria has the best Shiraz. Okay. Theodoli loves Mornington Peninsula wines. Safi, you're 30 minutes from Rutherglen. Yeah, I think we looked at the map one time. It would be a driving thing, but I think there's a couple of distilleries in that area, Yakandanda, Morris Rutherglen. So many. So not as many as there are wineries. Holy shit, there are so many fucking wineries in this country. But there are hundreds of distilleries. So it's just like fucking thousands of wineries. Freaking everywhere. And I mean, yeah, God, I admire the patience of both, because if you decide you're going to have a winery, assuming you don't buy an existing one, you go ground up, you've got to plant the vines and cultivate them. It's 10 years of work to get your first good wine. And yeah, if you're making it, okay, if you set up a distillery, you can do vodka and gin the day you have a still running. So that's why so many people do gin. But yeah, if you were seriously, most people, if they decide I'm going to make whiskey, it's going to be minimum 5 years before they produce a decent product, if not 10. So that used to be a drunk train trip to Rutherglen when you're down there. Oh, you get freaking bus tours to all the drunkening places. You get Yarra Valley Winery bus tours, probably Mornington and Bellarine Peninsula as well. So, yeah, and all the big wine, Hunter Valley does it, South Australia does it. I'm sure in Western Australia does it too. I'm going to close this. Oh, okay, that's that. Sorry. What's that app that's open? It's my webcam app. If I switch it off, my colors on screen will change. Justin, Trump's like George Bush on steroids. Kind of think George Bush was consistent and Trump is completely unhinged and range. So I'd agree with you, Justin, and I'd add meth as well. Trump is George Bush on steroids and meth. Oh, so you were born down Rutherglen Way, Fletcher. Okay. Okay. Is the J Ward my best? I don't know if I've actually come up with quite a few good cocktails. Is the J Ward the best? I don't know. Are you more like Melbourne where you want? Okay, fair enough. Well, I'm more Melbourne than anywhere else now. 18 years in Dubbo, 4 in Bathurst, 10 in Sydney, 11 in Melbourne. That's how old I am. He said, lying terribly. Just a real. Oh, I really reckon that's a vid. I have to pull together a bunch of my creation. But you remember them better than me. Like I remembered about 4, and then you started rattling off, and there's this one and this one. And this one. Oh yeah, Fletcher. No, I was born in Dubbo. Yeah, I know. Well, I know Western New South Wales. Well, I guess we literally called it the Central West. I did not go much west of Dubbo, actually. Narromine a couple times. Like, there's fuck all. There's just a few small towns west of Dubbo until you hit Broken Hill. Like, you're in the fucking desert at that point. Fear the orange Datsuns. There were a lot of Datsuns when I was a kid. I'll say that much. But yeah. Oh God, I'm now having a flashback to one of the shittiest cars ever on Australian roads, the Datsun 120Y. Wait, what about Al Grasby? I didn't think Al Grasby was from the country. I do remember Al Grasby, one of Australia's first ethnic politicians in the 70s. I thought he was from a city like Sydney or Newcastle, but I certainly don't remember. I think I'd recognize a picture of Al Grasby in his prime if I saw it, but I couldn't really tell you anything about them. Yeah, no, Home for the Elderly. Datsun 120Y was such a shit car. It was terrible. Oh, Al Grasby was from Griffith. I had been to Griffith. Oh, God, Griffith got famous for the mob connection there. It was always rumoured Al Grasby was connected to. But yeah, Australia's actual mafia was centred around Griffith for a while. You remember seeing 120Ys in the 2000s? They're like cockroaches. Oh, that's why you said orange Datsun, Fletcher. Al Crasby drove an orange Datsun. Oh my God. I had one of the bigger Datsuns at one point. And again, it was one that just kept on going. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was a 70s Toyota Corolla. Why did I say Datsun? I had a 70s Toyota Corolla. That was a real goer. I had that for a while. So, Justin, you've had 1 year in Perth, 2 in Korea. You are traveled. 2 in Indonesia, 5 Japan, 3 in Singapore, 1.5 again in Indonesia, 11 in Melbourne, 10 in Canberra, now back in Melbourne. But that's some real freaking globe trotting there. And yes, cars were much more expensive in the 70s. I had my first car was a Volkswagen Beetle that was not in great shape, and I paid a couple hundred, maybe $1,000 for. I was somewhere between a couple hundred and $1,000. Which I got through my brother-in-law was really into it, so he would do repairs. But I swear to God, I drove it when it was so unsafe, like when its brakes basically weren't working. I'd have to pump the brakes to get any sort of traction. And the exhaust streams. At one bit, I was with a friend driving on a highway, and something in the exhaust system was broken. And I don't know, I think there's holes in the floor. And we noticed after, like, I'd pushed the engine pretty hard going up and down some hills, there was like carbon monoxide building up the floor. It was like above our ankles. There's just a cloud of blue carbon monoxide smoke, and we're going like, this car's gonna fucking kill us. Justin, I haven't actually looked at how expensive RAM has gotten. I just know generally that it's got stupid expensive because of the AI scam motherfuckers. Fletcher, 70s. People who drove... Sorry, that's such a good... People who drove Renault and drank Advocaat. I've got Advocaat in the fridge. You had a Renault with exhaust stream panels. We literally thought this car was going to fucking kill us, though. Abigail's first car, XF Falcon, Revhead. Oh my God. Sorry, okay. Strictly Sega is posting some wild pictures, which I have to share. Pictures on the Discord of... Oh, that's too small. Look at this, the Star Wars Celica. And this one, straight on. Star Wars Celica. That's friggin' wild. Fletcher, look, you and me both, mate. Our generation got friggin' lead poisoning from the fuel. Oh, God, Abigail, you were a real Falcon person. I mean, honestly, that's a pretty fucking sharp car. That was literally a factory-released car, Charlie? That's wild. That's a genuinely cool car. I'm not being ironic at all. Oh, I thought that was some sort of Star Wars nerd's car. If that was an actual factory release, that's wild. Anyway, I'm going to have something non-alcoholic. I'm going to have some water because this is melted. I got some pink lemonade here. I think I'll have some pink lemonade because I'm a manly man. Safia, Mum had a red 2001 Celica. I mean, that was probably a pretty good car. Not to be sneezed at. Did I complain? My 10-year-old Holden Cruise, which is a great car, it's still going, but I hadn't had it serviced in forever and shit was wrong. I had to pay $2,500 to bring it up to spec. It's like, fuck me. They're ridiculous. So after your mum had a Mitsubishi Sigma, again, another decent car. Fletcher, your next car will be Lucid from California. No, you say, I don't know that. Yeah, no, there was so much that was just fucked with the car. As like brakes, a heat regulating thing, all the tires. Oof. It's just a big oof. That's actually slightly less than I thought it was going to be. When the mechanic ran through everything, I thought it was going to be somewhere between 2,700 and 3,000. So 2,500 was a slight reprieve. Okay, Fletcher, the car's called a Lucid. See, all those electric cars, particularly the Chinese electric cars, there's so many of them, I lost track of what they all are. Safi, you had an AU Falcon. So what were my cars? It was Volkswagen Beetle, Toyota Corolla, and then I think I didn't actually own a car for fucking yonks. I was driving other people's cars. 20 years ago, I got a Hyundai Elantra hatchback. And 10 years ago, I got my Holden Cruise. See, I love it, Dr. Abigail. Deep in the Falcon lore, the AUs were full of problems. See, I've got no idea. So, Fletcher, you're saying California subsidizes this car, pisses off Trump. Oh, because it's an electric car. Yeah, but Trump's a fucking child. Big man baby. And he's getting thousands of people killed. All right. Pink lemonade, sugar-free. Let's put some chemicals in my body. Actually, non-sucrose glucose sweetener doesn't have to be chemicals. There are some naturally occurring sweeteners that only have about 1/100th the calories of sugar. Those letters are too little. I can't be bothered trying to read them. I was going to try and read them, but then it seemed like a bad idea. And yeah, you're right, Charlie. Trump was basically doing ads for Musk at one point. But they have a tempestuous relationship. They're very on again, off again, those two. Very abusive relationship. A real look what you made me do relationship. Dr. Abigail, you're using stevia. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Abigail, but what I was just saying, stevia is a plant-sourced sweetener, isn't it? Like it's not chemicals, it's plant-sourced. I can't keep up with all those things, but I kind of think stevia is a plant-sourced one. Fletcher, meme of BB fucking Trump. Yeah, I mean, everyone says that. Oh, thank you. Okay. I was right. That's why I knew some of the sweeteners were plant-based. They're just like 100 times sweeter than sugar. You like the green stevia Coke, Charlie? Called Coke Life. I vaguely remember that. Hello, Madam Butterfly, by the way. So why has Musk not been in the news? Jesus, I don't know. Maybe the pennies dropped with him. He can only hurt himself when he does all these stupid shit. It never works in his favor if he just shuts the fuck up. Like if he had learned the lessons, like if 10 years ago he had realized, bro, you just need to shut the fuck up. You're in this weird place where you have this undeserved reputation, completely false reputation of being a Tony Stark sort of super genius. And it was never true, but people kind of thought it. There's this brief moment where you're a folk hero, and then you were just a fucking piece of shit. And everyone's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? It's like, he could have just, yeah, I know he's not shutting the fuck up, Charlie, but if he, like 10 years ago, if he had any, because he has no human decency, he has no humanity, he's a fucking monster. But if 10 years ago, he had just realized, wow, if it shut the fuck up, everyone's going to think I'm great. But he's a weird, antisocial fuckwit and deeply unhappy. He's like world's most divorced man. Yes, Fletcher, he says it was self-made, but yeah, no, his evil father made all the money from an apartheid diamond mine, emerald mine. I feel like you shut down your account with ChatGPT. Fair enough. Oh, God, you're with Claude now. Okay, sure. I have not looked into them. I genuinely do not have an opinion of any of these AI models less fucked than another one. I mean, actually, no, I'll take that back. Musk's Grok on Twitch is definitely the worst. It is the worst performing. It's just fucked. I mean, Dr. Abigail, I'll side with you on not using AI. But then again, the term's also really abused because every application under the sun slapped AI on their thing. It was like, well, really. But, you know, if people want to use it as a toy, it's a fun thing to play with. You know, it's fine. But, I don't know, it's morally indefensible. Particularly the image and video generation stuff. You use it for cooking suggestions. Okay. So does that show that tax dodgers cheats? Yeah. That's fair. Write ads for the shop. Yeah, look, again, the text-based stuff, I don't really have a problem with. It's very easy to use that in a non-shit way. I get particularly angry at the image generation, video generation stuff because it only exists because of them stealing the work of artists, and they're just continually talking shit and devaluing the value of creativity. It's not sustainable. It's not going to hold up. But yeah, text-based stuff. I don't mind those. So your take, Dr. Abigail, if you want to use AI, don't use it to help you with thinking. I mean, that's a good point. Don't pay for it. Yeah, I'm never fucking pay for it. Yes, always use banners. So, because, yes, okay. When you make it respond to you, it costs them money. Oh, Fletcher, the large language models, the chatbots, can enable psychosis. It's been shown multiple times. And I do agree about the image generation and video generation. Abigail, it's just, again, just on so many levels. It's theft. It's destroying the environment, the energy generation for it. And it's just being used for gross, disgusting, immoral purposes. Hopefully, Casey, they are back in 22. Okay, sorry, I feel like I'm missing something, Charlie. I missed a connection. What was the case in 2021 and isn't anymore? Oh, the manners thing? Okay, yeah. Oh, well, whatever. You know, stuff changes. Also, the other thing is, of course, every single one, and not AI companies, technology companies, every single one of these technology companies just fucking lie all the time. They lie about the capabilities of the systems. They lie about guardrails in the systems. They lie about the ethics of the systems. They lie about the energy consumption of the systems. The one that might end up hurting us all most is the extremely high probability that they end up crashing the entire world's economy. So that'll be fun when that happens. But okay, to waste cycles, do image generation. Yeah. But yeah, that's almost a stop hitting yourself thing. For February 28th, Reuters said, OpenAI said, struck a deal with the Pentagon to deploy technology in the US Defense Department's. Oh, yeah. We are literally at the point of doing the morally indefensible thing that politicians love. They're going to say, we used AI to generate the action. So, like when we bombed this country and we ended up bombing 20 schools, killing 5,000 children, the AI assured us that was the lowest casualty model. Actually, Fletcher, you talk about Peter Thiel, who's got this obsession with the Antichrist. Again, that's a mentally unstable person. Peter Thiel is someone who should not be taken seriously because he's deeply mentally unstable. Yes, and I think you're right, Charlie. There's a lot of people ditching OpenAI because of being involved with Trump and the military. It's all fucked, yo. It's like I have identified the issue with the world today. It can be summarized as everything's fucked up, yo. And it just is. And it's like, God damn. Well, I woke up and I looked at what was happening in the world and I realized everything was fucked up. I thought, can I do something about this? It's like, well, anything I do stop things from being fucked up? Nice. Dr. Agarwal, you have to go. Your home planet needs you. Well, hopefully we don't get the second half of that where you never come back. Yes, get some sleep. By all means. I can keep going for about 45 minutes. Oh, yeah, that was right, Ability. He got very angry because Anthropic wouldn't do military stuff with him. He's a fucking psychopath. So, Fletcher, you hate it when you think of something, computer begins advertising, something's in him. The thing is, that whole thing about, oh, it's listening to me. What we don't realize is we're being tracked across every single website we go to. And what we put into social media is tracked. Even if you don't use social media, you are essentially being tracked over every website you go to. And the browsers just basically go, I think I know what this person's into. And they start serving up ads of exactly what you're into, where you feel like you never told it that. But 99 times out of 100, you did tell it. The other one time, there's a microphone in your phone or computer that's listening to you. Was that Claude's like how Rock Band left Guitar Hero because they wanted to keep it about the music. That was pretty geeky. Sorry, and you also now just got me thinking about the South Park Guitar Hero episode, which was mostly funny. And they even had the Chasing the Dragon thing, which was a heroin reference. Very silly. I like things that are silly. Also, I think I said this the other day, but fuck me, doesn't Crapopolis have a lot of episodes in a season? Like 20 episodes. Rick and Morty has 8. One of the reasons I like Crapopolis is because it's like Futurama. Futurama was never really a sci-fi show that was telling us, it wasn't trying to predict the future. It was using a sci-fi envelope to talk about issues today. So Crapopolis is not a history show. It's not really about history and where things came from. It is discussing things about our world today and having fun and making jokes about stuff we take for granted today. So Guitar Hero 1, 2, and 3 was about the music, and after that they started flogging the shit out of them to make money. You see, that is something I am absolutely unfamiliar with. Never played a single edition of Guitar Hero or Rock Band. Not my jam, man. Although, as I've mentioned in a few streams, I've kind of stopped gaming altogether, pretty much. So there was a Guitar Hero split. Some people stayed with Guitar Hero, and some started the Rock Band game. Well, you know, it happens. You randomly made me think of the split. What was the original one called? The only thing they put out I watched was Zero Punctuation, the games reviewed by Yahtzee Croshaw. But it was like, you know, started off like, ooh, we're a games website. We're doing games reviews. We're doing text games reviews. We're doing tips. We're doing YouTube videos. Their flagship was Zero Punctuation, Yahtzee's stuff. And corporates bought it, and it like apparently as a place to work, it just got progressively worse and worse until there was this critical point where someone who'd been managing operations was trying to save work. Thank you, Humphrey. It was Escapist. Was trying to preserve some semblance of decency for the staff, and they got fired by the corpos. And then just fucking everyone quit, including the only person who was making content that anyone cared about, Yahtzee. And they all teamed up and they said, let's go independent and we'll try and crowdfund it. And it was absurdly successful. And now they produce stuff under the name Second Wind. It was one of the most beautiful examples of corporate fuckery actually fucking the corpos, because the workers just went, this is bullshit. I am the fuck out of here. These guys have just and shitified the workplace incrementally, and then they just went one step too far. So fuck them. And they went to the public, they went to the fan base, and it fucking worked. And the corpos collapsed in a heap. Beautiful. Beautiful to see. So hopefully one of the shows they did, extra credits, Fave Show on Escapist. Yeah, well, basically all the good people from Escapist are on Second Wind now, and they do a whole spectrum of stuff. But yeah, also, you know, being an old school YouTuber, everything that grew out of YouTube, like when YouTube started being a money thing, I think the first big thing was Maker Studios, a couple of really high profile YouTubers. This is like people who were big in the first 5 years of YouTube, you know, teamed up with some Hollywood types and set up this thing where the core people, and I think there's like only half a dozen of them, made fucking millions from the deal. And then, of course, the corpos tried to run everything like corpos, and it failed completely. And that happened multiple times to greater and lesser degrees. It happened with Phil DeFranco's channels. They all got bought by some corporate entity who then ran it into the ground and fucked it. And people like blaming Phil for that. He's like, dude, I sold it. I had no say over what happened. And he just kept something under his name, and he still does stuff, and it's like, damn. But over YouTube, and this particularly in the first 5-10 years, there were so many examples of that. People setting up a collaborative thing, corpos going, we'll buy that, and it goes down in a screaming heap. Let you know you did that, but you had too many opinions. Yeah, well, there was that period, 15 years ago where I maybe could have made something big out of YouTube, but then they started introducing all these restrictions, and I voluntarily declassified myself. No, I don't listen to the Phil Franco podcast or any of them. Yeah, I'd probably enjoy it. I occasionally see some of his stuff on YouTube and watch it, but I don't watch anything regularly. So hopefully they say extra credits did a charity drive to raise money raised way more than they needed, so started a video game publishing company and ditched Escapist. Yeah. Fletcher, you couldn't sell your soul. It was the swearing, the first Adpocalypse, which was over 10 years ago. It was like, oh, they're demonetizing all this stuff. And I just went, fuck this. I do not want to deal with this. And I voluntarily demonetized myself. Safa, I don't meet YouTube's thresholds for monetization. I'm very niche and fringe. So I've always said, all I want out of the Cocktail channel is to be well known enough that I get free shit. And for that 80s montage, did an episode. What? Okay. You're going to have to link me that on the Discord, Charlie. You stole an idea from them when you did the football, meat pies, kangaroos, and laser discs. You're inspired. That's what it's inspiration, remix. I'm a big fan of remix culture. I think that's a Gen X thing. She showed them. Okay, so you definitely need to link whatever this is on the Discord. I won't be able to watch it tonight, but hopefully tomorrow. I don't know. Fletcher, monetizing is for the young and the plastic. Yeah, I'm not. So they quoted us through the app. Oh, neat. Okay, so you definitely got to share that. I need to know what that is. On the Beers remix. I do love that. I mean, I think hip hop started remix culture, and that started in the 70s. It took white people to the 80s to get into it. So I guess, so the first people doing remix culture were actually boomers, younger boomers. So like boomers who hit adulthood in the 70s. On the Beers, the remix of Dan Andrews doing On the Beers was hilarious. But yeah, as is typical, black culture came up with remix culture with hip hop in the 70s. By about the 80s, white people were catching on to it. But for me, as a Gen Xer, I think remix culture was thriving in the 90s. And the internet definitely helped it by the late 90s and through now. So yeah, I am a big fan of remix culture. It has a proud history, though. I think I do have to decant the coffee cocktail, which is super fucking yummy. But then I've got to put something else in the barrel. So this is the reason I'm not doing it tonight, because I have to find some wine. Have I got anything in the cupboard here? Oh, I got that. I got a bottle of wine. Okay, yeah. No, I know what I'm going to do. It's just a bunch of faffing around, so I'm not going to do it tonight. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try the spiced brandy, though. It's been in the barrel for about a week and a half, and I want to leave it in there for 2 to 4 weeks. I'm going to do a progress taste on the spiced brandy. Let's see what that's tasting like. Safi, you like 90s techno? So, sorry, what? Yes, you did remind me to decant it, and I'm just not. I'll probably do it tomorrow, but remind me on Tuesday, because I will just do it on stream if I haven't done it by Tuesday. Okay, which barrel's got the brandy in it? Wine, sherry, brandy. 22nd. So yeah, that's about a week and a half. And I want to do this for 2 to 4 weeks. Also, I was thinking with the Laserdisc stuff, we had been doing it on Tuesdays, And we recorded one on Saturday where we were hoping our special guest was going to show up, but he didn't. And that might happen next weekend. And if it does, it's well and good. But if it doesn't, and we're just doing, maybe we should do it Sunday nights. Then you'd have more time to edit it. What do you think? Just a thought that occurs to me. That it might be better to do the Laserdisc reviews on Sunday night, and that gives you a couple extra days to do. You love that? Soph suggested that. Okay, yeah, okay. So let's pencil in Sunday nights is Laserdisc night. And yeah, if we get the thing with Tim next weekend, you know, best possible outcome is we do Laserdisc chat with him as well. But yeah, even if we don't, we make Sunday nights Laserdisc night. I see, but I said at the time, Safa, like, you know, we had our special guest, but there are 100 valid reasons that he'd be unable to join, like, without any notice. So no judgment, no sort of acrimony or anything about that, because, you know. Oh, I fucking love, you know me, I'm a movie geek. Oh, I was expanding my, I know, I'm not bored of it. I think it's fun. I was expanding my film cred this weekend. I was doing things like lists of films you need to see, and I found a great one from a New York film school, like films to watch before you go to film school. And I got a couple of, I guess you call them modern classics. I finally watched Moonlight, which won the Best Picture Academy Award a few years back, and I'd never seen it. It was good. It's a good movie. Tracking one young black man from being a kid to a teenager to an adult and facing the challenges of the world is good. I like that. And yeah, Moonlight's good. And I watched Portrait of a Lady on Fire today, which came out in 2019. So these are both modern classics. Everyone recommends Portrait of a Lady on Fire. And I actually said to Mrs. Angry, because we did a bunch of stuff in the morning, and I'm like, okay, I've used up all my energy. I just need to fucking veg out now. And I said to Mrs. Angry, okay, I'm going to watch a movie, because she was running, I'm going to watch a movie that if you come in when I've watched half an hour to an hour of it, and you start going, you go, you will say, oh, I should have sat down and watched this with me. And given that that's how I think you'll feel about this one, do you just want to sit down and watch it with me? And she said, okay. And watch it. It's good. It's really good. And afterwards I said, was I right? That if you'd walked in halfway, you would have gone, oh, I should have watched all of that. And she went, yep, you're absolutely right. So I was like, okay. I picked it. Because she said that about Hamnet. She only watched the second half of that with me, and then just went, oh, I should have sat down and watched this. I'd probably watch Hamnet again. If she wanted to watch it from the beginning, Hamnet's really fucking good. And this is also the actor wanker in me, having done theatre, and I am a huge cheerleader for Shakespeare. Oh, because we were having that discussion on Friday night where I was going, you know, my pet peeve, the phrase of, oh, Shakespeare invented all these words. That is, I would argue, logically untrue, but certainly unprovable statement. The statement that is unquestionably true is there's a freaky number of words and phrases and sayings that the oldest written record we have of them is Shakespeare's work. Don't want to make it, when I was having that, I think I hope no one thought it meant I thought Shakespeare was overrated. I think Shakespeare's underrated, if anything, is incredible. And this thing, Hamnet, was inspired by stories we have of Shakespeare's life. Although other stories I've heard of his life, his wife is much older than she is in Hamnet, so I'm not sure. But yeah, Hamnet's worth watching. Ability, your internet came unplugged. Lucky I wasn't watching it first thing. Okay. Sea of Love by Tom Waits. Yes. Yeah, no, that's what. Oh, you're absolutely fucking right. Okay, so when we were talking about Carlito's Way, I said it started with Tom Waits singing Sea of Love. It's the Pacino movie Sea of Love. Oh, Angry Aussie is wrong on the internet. Oh my God. Who'd have thought I'd be, what's this tasting like? You know what I'm tempted to do is sweeten this. This is quite like it just drinks. It's not like drinking a spirit. Oh, you mean like the audio is better? Because we've got to remember that I have to turn the volume down. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put some of the cola syrup in the brandy. Make it more of a cocktail. Quicker and easier to scrub. Nice. Okay. Oh, I was about to say, I have a really narrow funnel here. Okay, I'm going to put, I think this will make it so much better. I'm going to put some of this cola syrup in the brandy, and I'll taste it again on Tuesday. Okay. Cola syrup. Just let that go down. I guess you're gonna. And I'm just using up this cola syrup as well. Make some more during the week. Okay. I'm gonna try this again on Tuesday. I bet it's better. I'm gonna shake it up. Make a little drip down. Is there something dripping down? No, nothing dripping down on that. Is there anything dripping down on this? No. Maybe that barrel's a bit drippy. What's that? No, maybe that one barrel's a bit drippy. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. I reckon I'm going to try that again Tuesday. And I reckon it'll taste much better. Some people Yeah, no, that's a blood bag funnel. So the blood bags, when I bought them, those funnels were in the pack. Really things. So that is a blood bag funnel, that one. Yeah. Okay, the spice brandy is nice. But if anything, it's a bit thin. So I think I'm on a winner with that idea that I just had of putting the cola syrup in it, and it's more of a cocktail now. But we shall see. I mean, might even be ready to decant on Tuesday. You never know what treats you might get, Charlie. Because I swear to God, the coffee cocktail, like my recipe, which is better than the Carajillo old fashioned that everyone's talking about. It is. It just is. To my taste, it's better. And yes, after the next stream will be Tuesday. Unless anything happens. There won't. I can't imagine there being one tomorrow. Be Tuesday unless something happens. It's like that video you wanted me to play, Charlie, the Trump rapist one. The vagina video every day in July if nothing arises. Also getting the chrome sticks supposed to arrive on Wednesday. Does that do? That's my love of acronyms and wordplay. However many years ago that was, 10 years ago, I was talking about I'm going to set myself a challenge, do a video every day in July. And because I love acronyms and whatnot. And video every day in July is VEG. And my brain just went, can I come up with an acronym that sounds like vagina? And I was actually asking on social media because I said video every day in July if nothing happens. That was vagina. And so I was on social media going like, I need a word that's like happens or eventuates but starts with A? Can anyone help me? And someone came up with arises, and I'm like, yes! Video every day in July if nothing arises, vagina. Okay, you want the I'm a bigger nerd than you? I mean, I'll play it. Oh, shit. Sorry, I was just saying, because I watch trailers all the time. And there's a Bill Nighy movie called 500 Miles. Jesus Christ, Bill Nighy's looking old. I swear to God, everyone I grew up with, musicians and actors, are all going to die. And every one of them that dies is just going to make me feel really old. Okay, this is literally only... Okay. So I did 18 years ago. So this was kind of at my peak. I did a video, I'm a bigger nerd than you. And then, because everyone was fucking going for it, so I said, okay, I've got some prizes for the nerd competition, which I never intended to run. And then it was like, I got nerd served because people were so much nerdier than me. So let's see. This was December 2007. So it's actually 18 and a half years ago. Oh, I see. Like, I swear to God, even though I talk about challenge on this, I didn't intend it to be an actual challenge. I feel like playing all of them, Charlie, actually. Let's do it. Okay. I'm a bigger nerd than you. Let's do this, and this, and this. Let's play this just for old time's sake.
All right, YouTube, it's challenge time. I challenge you to a nerd off. Yes, that's right. Are you ready to come out of the nerd closet and prove that you have the nerd credentials? Now, don't pretend this doesn't apply to you. You're on YouTube. So far as a lot of people are concerned, that already marks you as a nerd. But you've got to put it to the next level. Get right out of the nerd closet. Now, you might have seen the blogging bot from the future wears a Doctor Who t-shirt. That isn't the nerdiest thing I own. This Mr. Spock tie, which I seriously wear to work, that's not the nerdiest thing I own. My TARDIS call indicator that goes off whenever someone calls the angry phone, that isn't the nerdiest thing I own. No, my nerd trump card is this. Yes, those are Battlestar Galactica cufflinks. And the reason they rate so highly on the nerd meter, you have to be a nerd to know how nerdy they are. That's double nerdness. So come on, YouTube, get your nerd on. Show me your nerd credentials, okay? I'll even make a competition of it. Don't know what the prize is, I should have thought of that first. But for the best video response nerd evidence, I'll come up with something. You're not getting my cufflinks and you're not getting my TARDIS, but I'll come up with something. So show us what you got, people. Come out of the nerd closet, say it once, say it loud. I'm a nerd and I'm proud.
So I did actually tell people to respond, but I didn't think anyone would respond. I legit did not think anyone would respond. And people just went for it. So this is prizes. This is where I decided what the prizes were. I want to share this one too. This is fun, just rolling into the end of the stream. This is where I decided what the prizes would be. Share this and this. And let's fucking go.
All right, people. Looks like we got some serious nerd contenders. So I thought I'd follow it up because I've had some thoughts on a prize. And plus, I needed to show you what you are up against because I only showed you the tip of the iceberg with my nerdiness yesterday. Some of the prizes I was thinking of, I could probably bear to part with my old Han Solo Star Wars gun, or I was even thinking my Darth Vader Unmasked pewter figurine from my Monopoly Star Wars game. But I was also thinking I should do something unique for the prize, a real one-off. I go into one of the sci-fi nerd comic shops and get some little figurine and get a little plinth from a trophy shop and have a little engraving even that said, you know, I'm nerdier than Mr. Angry, and make my own winner's statue. That might be a bit much trouble. People also seem to like my T-shirts, and I did think about my T-shirt for the gathering, which was a special one-off one that I never intended to wear again. I might make that the prize. Go look at a gathering video if you want to see what that looks like. Or even maybe I'll coerce my girlfriend into doing the lettering for a new T-shirt, because my girlfriend does all that because my lettering's crap. Maybe just a T-shirt that says, I'm nerdier than Mr. Angry. Tell you what, I'll go with popular acclaim, what you think the best prize would be from those things I suggested. But I've got a few more things to show you. This is not going to be easy to out-nerd me. Right, and moving away from the studio end of my shed, we have the piled up junk end of my shed, including my bookcase, which is nearly all sci-fi and fantasy, with a few special items. Let me show you. It isn't limited to books. I've got my comics as well, the complete Sandman graphic novel format. Also got the complete run of The Preacher in graphic novels, and another double nerd one, I think, because you have to be a pretty serious nerd to even know this one. A 1980 Blake 7 annual. Yes, you have to be mad sci-fi nerd to remember Blake 7. Also, in this big pile of boxes here, there's about 10 or so boxes just of my weekly and monthly comics. Mainly, we've got that old favourite, Judge Dredd. I've got years worth of 2000 AD and Judge Dredd comics stored here in my shed. And of course, another thing nerds always like to go on about is the geek cred of their DVD collection. So I've got mine stashed in here. Yeah, huge amount of sci-fi, proper classics, requisite things like, what do we got here? The sort of ultra box set of the Lord of the Rings with 11 squillion hours of extra stuff on it. Of course, I've got all 3 series of Battlestar Galactica and the mini-series. That's where I got the cufflinks when I bought the Series 3 DVDs. Requisite sort of anime, Steam Boy, Princess Mononoke, Ninja Scroll, and some others. What else? Look, the original Stargate movie, not the TV series, the movie that came before it. I've got that. Oh, because I'm an Oz nerd, I've got the complete Mad Max collection on DVD. What else? I mean, oh look, I've got the Matrix series, but not just the 3 movies. The Animatrix, and a little DVD called The Matrix Revisited that was only put out as a promotional thing, which I won as a prize for out-nerding some other people. So you're up against it pretty hard there, people. That's giving you an idea of what you're facing. So yeah, vote in on what you want as the prize. And after a while, I don't know, a week or so, we shall see who wins. Probably take me a while to finalise with Christmas and New Year's and everything. Hey, just ask people who've entered my other competitions. My last T-shirt competition for YouTube T-shirts, I'm only just posting those today, so hopefully the guys will get them before Christmas. Hey, ask Lady Saddest how long it took her to get her personalised T-shirt for the slogan competition. But it does happen. I get it out there eventually. So get your nerd on, people, and let's see who can win.
So this is fucking odd. Also, I had like 20 or 30 ties back when I used to wear ties to it. I haven't thrown them out. I still have them all. But let's go for the actual prize winner now, because this is a relatively. It's only okay. This one's only 400, I think. Of course, it sounded different. That's almost fucking 20 years ago. That's 17 and a half years ago. Also, the whole black hair thing's hilarious because it was dyed. If I wasn't dyeing my hair, I'd have been very salt and pepper. Like, so if I was the bigger, you look old. If I cared about that shit, I would dye my hair and beard still. But I don't fucking care. Okay. So this is the last nerd video. Where I announced the winner. So let's just get this happening and do that. Let's see.
Now, before I get around to announcing the winner, I would just like to point out the judge's decision, my decision, is final. No correspondence will be entered into. You do not want to mess with me. G'day, viewers. Well, a week or so ago, I was a bit bored and I was looking at my Battlestar Galactica cufflinks and thought, God, that's nerdy. I'm really quite a nerd. And so I threw out the challenge. Can anyone prove they were a bigger nerd than me? Oh my God, I did not know what I was starting. The onslaught of responses. About 30 people put in video responses for the challenge. I have to admit, this has been one of the most fun things I've done on YouTube, and I just sort of threw it out there as a whim. I had no idea people would latch onto it so much. I should have known. With Christmas and New Year's and whatnot, been a bit busy. It's taken me a while to judge a winner, but I finally got around to it, rewatched all the video submissions, and I've come up with a winner, which was not easy. In fact, the one regret I have about starting this competition is so many people have such awesome nerd collections that they can't all win. Yeah, I was going to go with that old line about, hey, in a way, you're all winners, but in a more literal way, only one of you is. But that seemed a bit mean. But I just said it anyway, because I'm a bit mean. But I went back through, I started writing down some honorable mentions, but then that ended up being almost everyone, because everyone's submission was really awesome. I really can't thank everyone enough for getting in on the spirit of this. So I abandoned the idea of doing honorable mentions, because that was pretty much everyone. But I will say a very close second. I just had to go back and check the username to make sure I got it right. Second place, Portland 182, for the most amazing collection of incredibly obscure stuff. Stuff that I seriously think he may be the only person on the planet who has in his possession. And my personal favourite was the Dalek Death Ray ice cream wrapper from the 70s. I almost fell out of my chair when I saw that. But I was actually able to settle on one winner, and I'm giving that title of Uber Nerd of YouTube to Sexy Geeky, simply from the onslaught of stuff she was able to come up with while admitting she was a student who'd moved cross-country and left a bunch of stuff at home. Just covering all the great nerd stuff, the sci-fi, the games, and actually being someone who makes weapons and armor for medieval recreation. There's like, geez, 10 nerds rolled into one. I was astonished. So, Sexy Geeky, you get the title. So, message me about what you want for a prize of those things that I suggested could be a prize, and I'll put that together for you. Again, everyone, thanks. The dedication to the nerd life is awesome, particularly the people who got tattoos. That's major dedication. Once again, I really can't thank you all enough for joining in on that. It almost makes me want to do another competition, but I don't think I could top this one. So I might quit while I'm ahead.
Thought I'd shoot a bit of this from the beach again today, just variety. It's actually in the water today, not just walking along like the theatre. Actually in there getting wet, because it's getting warm again. I wanted to cool off. In fact, I'm going to go home before it gets too bloody hot. But I thought the beach was a evocative thing. I want to tell you, Mr. Yowie's having a party at his place in Brizzy. So if you happen to know Mr. Yowie and you're in Brizzy, message him and you might get invited to the party. Otherwise, doing the big nerd thing and going on Stickam. That's Saturday night Australian time on the OzTubers channel. So if you're feeling nerdy and you know how to correct your time zone to Australia Saturday night, check it out. I might be able to get there. I think I've committed to being to a birthday party here in Melbourne, but we'll see if I can get on too. But there's going to be a few people having a bit of a Stickam chat on Saturday night if you are interested. Oh, and one more thing. This is not going to make sense to a lot of people, not to normal people anyway, but get off my case now, Jusma.
Okay. There were a couple. Hey, Greg. Yeah, the good old video replies. Oh my God. Two things there. I'd forgotten Stickam. I'd forgotten Stickam was a thing and it exists. But the feat reveal at the end, I actually had two people obsessing over me wanting to show my feet in a video. I don't think I've watched those videos since I made them 18 years ago. But the foot reveal, that's hilarious. People wanting to see feet on videos. Oh my God. Thanks for the suggestion, Home for the Elderly. That was kind of fun showing those. But yeah, I mean, okay, so the first one, I did legit challenge people, but I'm not joking. I did not expect anyone to respond. And the fact that I got about 30 video responses from people is just fucking wild. But yeah, also it's fun. Sexy Kiki, who I'm still Facebook friends with, who won that, they've transitioned since then, Transmask. But yes, I made them, I handmade a t-shirt that says, "I'm nerdier than Mr. Angry," which I think they kept. I'm not sure. Oh my God. The olden days. That's YouTube used to be different. You know what else I was thinking about YouTube? I was thinking about Australian YouTube in particular. So 15 to 18 years ago was YouTube did localized stuff. For a brief period, there was youtube.com.au. You get your feed would default to and promote Australian. Yeah. Oh, Charlie, you ever want to fucking suggest really old videos to revisit? I'll be up for it. But yeah, the so-called YouTube community from 15 to 18 years ago, like anyone who's been involved in any internet community since the 90s knows at a certain point it collapses into infighting and you get ridiculous. And there were just people causing drama left, right, and center. And because I had a reasonable amount of notoriety in Australian YouTube, like 15 to 18 years ago. So a lot of people targeted me. And I would see a lot of people and they would side with the wrong person. And I'd just be thinking like, oof, like that person is just a fucking cesspit of negativity. And I don't know, you're finding it funny that they're sniping at people or whatever, but it's like you don't know that this is just incredibly destructive behavior, and these people are definitely going to turn on you. Like I've seen it so many times. There's the whole thing, and everyone thinks it's all fun and games. And I went, oh no, these people are going to fucking turn on you. And it's really kind of tragic that you don't see. And yeah, I saw so many people back the wrong horse and side with a just awful, toxic person because they kind of thought it was funny who they were attacking. And it's like, no, but that person's just toxic. They're just fucking shit. And they'll turn on you. Every single time I was right. I was just thinking like, it is not in your interests to align with that person because they'll just fucking turn on you. And they did, invariably. And I do not take a lot of joy from being right in saying to a succession of people over the last 20 years, that person is fucked. Their mentality is fucked. And you think it's funny at the moment, but they will turn on you and they'll drag you into that fucking bullshit and they'll vilify you publicly. And it always happened. It's just like when someone's, because I do the angry videos and, you would definitely get people who say that I was negative and I was destructive. But I did try to, as much as possible, not make it personal, like not do attack videos on individuals. Public figures, politicians and celebrities is one thing, but just like random people on the internet, I tried to avoid. I know I didn't avoid it completely, and anyone who wants to call out my hypocrisy on those things is free to do so. I feel like Donald Trump is not the worst politician in the world. He maybe is now. God knows how old that video is when I said he wasn't. All right, it's bedtime, I think. So I'm going to eat the cherries. I'm super decadent, so I got myself 2 cherries. I love these cherries so fucking much. Yum. You love it when videos age. It's like when anyone wants to pull something out and say, "Oh, you're wrong here," and I went, "Yep, it was a product of its time. What can I say?" Are you going to edit our vid from Saturday? Cool. All right. Yeah, but we'll make the weekends Laserdisc time. I'm going to take this USB out. Didn't fuck anything else up. That was a miracle. Got this weirdly USB. I should get a better one. This one is... Oh, okay. I fucking dropped it. No, I caught it. Oh, yeah. No, aging well, bad videos. It's just funny when you see something like... And because, you know, having done this for 20 years, it's just like, yeah, I would probably definitely disagree with myself from 15, 20 years ago. So it's the whole thing. But yeah, okay. I'm actually really into the idea of revisiting the old videos. So, you know, we'll do that at least sometimes. So, okay, everyone, take care. I'm going to go sleepy bobos. Back for a Tuesday night stream in all probability. So you all take care. See you another time. Bye for now.
You are totally fucked up!